Have you ever started your day with a clear goal, only to find yourself lost in a scroll hole by noon? Do you catch yourself jumping between tasks, never really finishing anything, wondering where the time went? What if I told you that the true currency of success isn't time, it's attention? In a world where your focus is constantly under attack, from phones, pop-ups, and pressure, learning to master your attention is no longer optional, it's essential. This is the art of deep focus, and in this video, we're going to explore how you can eliminate distractions like a pro using timeless Stoic principles and modern motivation. If you're ready to take back control of your mind, your day, and your destiny, don't forget to subscribe. Let's build your inner fortress together.
1. The war for your attention. In ancient times, warriors protected cities with walls. Today, the war is happening in your mind, and distractions are the enemy. The enemies are not armies and invaders with weapons, but rather algorithms and notifications, silent, invisible, and relentless. These intrusions don't storm the gates, they seep in unnoticed, disguised as convenience and entertainment. They break your focus in milliseconds and fracture your inner stillness without warning. Unlike physical enemies, you can't see them coming, but their impact is real. Anxiety, procrastination, fatigue, and ultimately, a loss of agency over your own life. The battlefield has changed, but the need for vigilance has not. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius knew that guarding one's mind was the highest form of discipline. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Marcus was a Roman emperor, surrounded by chaos, yet he trained himself daily to return to his inner fortress, the citadel of his thoughts. This isn't just poetic wisdom, it's tactical advice. In a world full of noise, the ability to choose your thoughts, to filter your focus, is an act of rebellion. The Stoics didn't preach detachment from the world, but mastery over how you engage with it. Attention is the lever that shifts your experience from reactive to intentional. But in the digital age, everything is designed to bypass that strength. Notifications are built to trigger dopamine. Apps are engineered to hijack your curiosity. The result? Scattered energy and diluted purpose. Every swipe, every ping, every trending clip is a pixel in a larger picture of mental erosion. The technology isn't neutral, it's persuasive by design. It's shaped to capture your attention, then commodify it. You are not the user, you are the product. And unless you become conscious of this reality, your mind becomes the property of someone else. You're scrolling not because you want to, but because you've been programmed to. True focus begins with awareness. You can't fight an enemy you haven't named. So ask yourself, what are the things that steal your attention daily? Identify them. Name them. Only then can you build the wall that keeps them out. Write them down. Track your time for a week. Notice the patterns. Where does your attention go when you're tired? What do you reach for when you're anxious? The more clearly you can see the traps, the easier it is to avoid them. In Stoic terms, you cannot control what you will not confront. Building mental discipline begins with radical honesty about your distractions. Being focused isn't about doing more. It's about doing the right things with full presence. That's how you win the inner war. In a culture obsessed with productivity hacks, the real secret is subtraction. Less noise, fewer tasks, deeper engagement. Choose one important thing and give it everything. That's not just productivity, it's integrity. Focus is a moral act, a way of honoring your limited time and potential. In guarding your attention, you guard your future. And in that quiet commitment, you reclaim your sovereignty. 2. Digital detox, reclaiming your mind. Imagine trying to read a book, while someone whispers in your ear every 10 seconds. That's what your phone is doing, constantly interrupting, fragmenting your thoughts. These interruptions seem small, even harmless, but they add up. They pull you away from depth. They erode your ability to think clearly, feel deeply, and act deliberately. You might not notice it immediately, but over weeks and months, the damage compounds. Mental fatigue, irritability, poor memory. These aren't random. They are symptoms of a distracted life, and reclaiming clarity begins with reducing the noise. If you want clarity, you must create space for it. That's where a digital detox comes in. It's not about throwing your phone away. It's about using it with intention, not compulsion. Think of it like a fast, not starvation, but restoration. You don't have to become a hermit or delete all your apps. You only need to break the automatic patterns. The goal isn't disconnection, it's reconnection. Reconnection with your thoughts, with your values, with your sense of purpose. The detox is the pause you need to reset your priorities. Start small. Schedule tech-free hours. Remove non-essential apps. Turn off non-urgent notifications. Use tools like grayscale mode to reduce visual stimulation. The more friction you place between you and the compulsive behavior, the easier it becomes to rewire your habits. Create intentional boundaries. No phones during meals, no screens in the bedroom, no endless scrolling before bed. These simple rules create mental room to breathe. They give your mind the silence it needs to recover. And in that space, your thoughts can deepen and your awareness can sharpen. Seneca once warned that life is not short, but we make it so by wasting it. Every moment spent mindlessly scrolling is a moment stolen from your purpose. Ask yourself, are you living or are you just consuming? Are you choosing your time or surrendering it? The Stoics believed that time is our most precious resource, not because it's rare, but because we often give it away without thought. Reclaiming your mind means reclaiming your minutes, and in those minutes lies your life's direction. A digital detox isn't deprivation, it's liberation. It's about choosing silence over noise, depth over distraction, peace over pressure. This is not a retreat, it's a strategy. The more you practice stepping away from the digital current, the more you discover your inner current, your own rhythm, your natural curiosity, your unfiltered thoughts. Life becomes less reactive and more intentional. And with each detox, you regain a little more of your own mind. That's the beginning of inner freedom.
3. The power of deep work. When was the last time you were truly immersed in one task? No pings, no switches, just full focus. This kind of immersion is rare now, almost foreign. But it is the key to excellence. It's in these stretches of uninterrupted time that real progress is made. That's where breakthroughs happen. That's where confidence grows. But to reach that level of clarity, you have to fight for it. You have to protect your time like a temple, because no one else will. Cal Newport calls it deep work, the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. It's where mastery is born. And yet our world is built for shallow work. Instant messages, meetings, notifications. Every convenience is a trap. Deep work is rare not just because it's difficult, but because it's uncomfortable. It forces you to confront resistance.
It challenges your patience. But in that difficulty is the gateway to skill, to creativity, to value. Deep work doesn't just make you more productive, it makes you more alive. Deep work is rare because it's hard. It requires commitment, time blocking, and the discipline to say no to what is easy. You'll be tempted to multitask, to check your phone, to skim instead of study. But every time you resist, you build mental strength. Every focused session is a vote for the person you're becoming. And over time, those votes add up. The result isn't just better work, it's a better you. Stoicism teaches us to focus only on what we can control. Your attention is one of those things. The more you practice deep work, the more you strengthen your mental muscle for excellence. Distractions may still arise, but your relationship to them changes. You don't chase every thought. You don't react to every impulse. You become grounded, deliberate, and centered. That's the core of Stoic practice, to live with clarity in a chaotic world. Make your environment your ally. Clear your desk, use noise-canceling tools, work in sprints, set clear outcomes for each session. The physical setup matters because it reflects and reinforces your inner state. When your space is clean, your mind can be focused. When your schedule is protected, your energy can be sustained. These aren't trivial rituals, they're strategic choices. They help carve the mental architecture that supports excellence. This is how you move from being busy to being powerful, not through endless motion, but through focused intention. Deep work is not just a technique, it's a philosophy, a rebellion against distraction, a commitment to craftsmanship, and a practice that, done consistently, will shape not only what you produce, but who you become.
4. Discipline, the root of all focus. Focus is not a trait you're born with. It's a habit you build. And like all habits, it grows through discipline. Discipline is not a punishment. It is the most powerful form of self-love. It says, I care enough about myself to delay pleasure, to resist distraction, and to focus on what truly matters. Many people wait for focus to descend upon them like a muse, but that's a fantasy. Focus is forged in the fires of consistency, forged in those quiet, unseen moments where you choose work over ease, clarity over comfort, and growth over gratification. You do not stumble into focus. You build it brick by brick with your daily choices. It begins when you stop relying on motivation, which is emotional and fleeting, and start relying on your own command over yourself. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Discipline is self-mastery in action. It's choosing structure over chaos, long-term gain over short-term pleasure. This quote holds the essence of Stoic strength. Freedom, in the Stoic sense, is not the absence of rules, it's the triumph over internal slavery. Discipline allows you to resist the pull of unhealthy impulses, to defy the inertia of laziness, and to silence the self-sabotaging voices that say, "It's okay to skip today." Without discipline, you are a puppet to your impulses. With it, you become sovereign over your own mind. Choosing structure is not confinement, it's liberation. When you impose order on your time and attention, you are free to rise above the whims of circumstance and emotion. The world offers countless distractions, but discipline helps you stay grounded in what you've chosen to value. Train your mind like an athlete trains for performance. Set routines. Stick to them. Practice saying no, not just to others, but to yourself when temptations arise. Just like physical fitness, mental focus is cultivated through repetition and resistance. Athletes don't become strong by accident. They submit to a regimen day in and day out, often in silence and solitude. Likewise, you must design your environment and habits to support your mission. Morning routines, digital boundaries, scheduled downtime, these aren't luxuries, they're training protocols. The act of saying no is one of the highest forms of self-respect. It's not just about rejecting external requests, but about denying the internal cravings that steer you off course. Every time you say no to distraction, you say yes to your potential. You teach your brain that you're in control, not your hunger, not your boredom, not your desire for comfort, but your will. Discipline is what keeps you grounded when motivation fades. It's what helps you show up even when you don't feel like it. Motivation is like the wind. It comes and goes, often at the worst times. But discipline is like the keel of a ship. It keeps you steady through the storm. Anyone can work when they feel inspired. The true test of focus is what you do when you feel tired, disheartened, or uncertain. That's when discipline steps in like a quiet friend who reminds you of your why. Stoicism doesn't concern itself with how you feel in the moment. It concerns itself with what you do. Action guided by values, not moods. When discipline becomes your default, you're no longer swayed by emotional weather. You show up, do the work, and trust the process, even when the results aren't immediately visible. The more you exercise your discipline, the more natural focus becomes, not as a momentary act, but as a way of life. Discipline, like any muscle, grows with use. At first, it's difficult. Your attention will scatter. Your mind will rebel. You'll feel resistance. But if you persist, if you stay the course, the fog begins to clear. Focus becomes your baseline. Your mind, once restless, now finds peace in sustained effort. You begin to crave deep work, to enjoy the silence of concentration, to respect your own time as sacred. Eventually, discipline is no longer something you force, it's something you embody. You don't just have focus, you are focused. It's no longer something you seek, but something you live. And that transformation is the fruit of countless disciplined choices, day after day, even when no one is watching.
5. Protect your energy like a Spartan. Focus isn't just about avoiding distractions, it's about protecting your energy from being drained by the wrong things and people. Your time is valuable, yes, but your energy is sacred. You can recover lost hours, but lost energy is far harder to reclaim. Every interaction, every piece of news, every conversation either charges or drains you. If you want to remain focused, you must become a gatekeeper of your attention and vitality. This doesn't mean living in isolation, it means being intentional. Not every problem deserves your response. Not every call deserves an answer. Not every emotional disturbance is your responsibility. The modern world is flooded with noise, and unless you guard your energy with vigilance, you'll find yourself exhausted without ever having done meaningful work. You must be ruthless about your inputs. The conversations you entertain, the content you consume, the people you surround yourself with, all shape your mental landscape. Just as a farmer tends his soil and keeps out weeds, you must cultivate your inner space by filtering what enters your mind. A negative conversation can linger for hours, infecting your thoughts and mood. An hour of mindless scrolling can scatter your focus for the rest of the day. Energy is not just lost in doing things, it's lost in exposure to things that conflict with your values, goals, or inner peace. If you want to be sharp,
purposeful, and productive, then you must surround yourself with inputs that nourish those qualities. That means uplifting conversations, useful information, and people who reflect the kind of discipline and clarity you seek. Be selective, not arrogant. Strategic, not fearful. The Stoics taught that your mind is your most sacred space. Would you let just anyone walk through your home? Then why let just any thought, message, or drama enter your mind? Marcus Aurelius called the soul an inviolable fortress, yet we often leave its gates wide open. We welcome negativity in the name of being informed, gossip in the name of staying connected, and drama in the name of entertainment. But all of these are invaders. Each one chips away at your ability to stay present, grounded, and resilient. You must treat your inner world like holy ground. You wouldn't let a stranger track mud through your house, so don't let junk thoughts trample your peace. Cultivate stillness, not just in your schedule, but in your soul. Protect it with boundaries, not just from others, but from yourself, your impulses, your compulsions, your unnecessary curiosities. Set boundaries, create a sacred space for work, reflection, and recovery. Say yes only to what aligns with your values and mission. Boundaries aren't about pushing people away, they're about honoring your priorities. When you work, close the door. When you reflect, unplug. When you rest, do so fully. These practices aren't indulgent, they're essential. Without a defined space for deep work or true rest, your energy will be fragmented. Clarity requires solitude. Recovery requires disconnection. To say yes to your deeper mission, you must say no to everything else that dilutes it. Every boundary is a declaration. This is what matters to me. This is what I protect. And when you live from that place, your energy becomes laser-like, your presence magnetic. You stop chasing clarity and begin radiating it. Energy is finite, focus is sacred, and if you want to rise above the noise, you must guard both like your life depends on it, because it does. The truth is stark. You do not have infinite energy, attention, or days. Each morning grants you a fresh but limited store of focus, and the world is eager to spend it for you. Without awareness, your best hours are spent putting out other people's fires, scrolling through endless feeds, or worrying about things that will never happen. That's not just inefficient, it's tragic. If your mission, your art, your peace matters, then your energy must be defended like a Spartan defends his homeland. You don't need to fight every battle, but you must choose your battles wisely. In a world designed to scatter you, the ability to protect your energy is a superpower. It is what separates those who drift from those who lead, those who endure from those who fade.
In a world that profits from your distraction, focus is rebellion. It's not easy to stay centered in a storm of noise, but the Stoics remind us that peace is not found in silence, it's found in strength. You don't need more time, you need more intention. You don't need a perfect plan. You need the courage to start clearing the noise. Focus is the new superpower, and like any superpower, it's built, not born. Start today. Start small, but start. Eliminate one distraction. Complete one task with full attention. Choose depth over speed, and watch your life transform. If this message resonated with you, subscribe and join others building a life of clarity, strength, and purpose. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and never forget, the mind you master is the life you own.